You know what? On Father's Day, I really don't even know how to accept that holiday because, first of all, my dad died when I was 4 years old, so I never had a father, and my kids' fathers have never ever been around. But what I can say about Father's Day is when it do come, I give much props to stepdads, stepfathers, niggas who step up to the plate when the hoe ass daddies fucking disappear or choose pussy over their own children. When my 20-year-old was maybe 5 years old, there was a guy in my life and we were together for a minute, and he stepped up and he taught my son how to do chores around the house. You know, they had their own little special handshake. When he would come home from school, if he did something good, he would praise him. He wasn't like a mean ass motherfucker, like always want to yell and beat on the kid. He told him more I love yous than his own dad told him. You know what I'm saying? So for that dude, I'm not gonna say his name, I give him much props. And he didn't even have any kids, but his family treated my now 20-year-old like it was he was part of the family. They never treated him any different. He got just as many toys as the other grandkids got on Christmas. And you know, that's good. I love families like that. You know what I'm saying? Now, my 4-year-old, you know what I'm saying? His dad has never been around. Deadbeat from the beginning. But luckily, when my baby was maybe 9 months, there was a guy, you know, my partner that be in the videos all the time. He was there, you know, and he started to get to know him as he was turning 1. Because I don't ever introduce me into my kids right away. I have to get to know you for a while before you actually meet my kids. So my baby was like under 1. And I finally started bringing him around after a while. And now, 4 years, 5 years later, those two are really close. You know, it's crazy because he can understand what my child is going through when you want to see your dad, but your dad ain't nowhere to be found, or he running the streets, or he doing him, you know what I'm saying? And the kid is stuck because the kid wants to be with their other parent, but the other parent just ain't mature enough, you know what I'm saying, to handle fatherhood. So you got this stranger who is stepping up to the plate, and he's doing everything to play the real dad. That takes a lot. This isn't even his child. You know what I'm saying? And he have to go spend money for Christmas. And he have to make sure this little kid has a good birthday. And he takes this little boy out for outings. You know what I'm saying? Stuff that his dad should do, but he don't have common sense enough to do it. You know, like, I can remember not having any money, and my baby needed some clothes real bad, and his stepdad went out and he bought, and that's what I'm gonna call him. I'm gonna call him stepdad because he went out and he bought my baby a whole bunch of, maybe like 5 outfits that was not cheap at all. He went out and bought him 5 outfits, you know, and I was really grateful for that. I didn't even ask. He just did it on his own. Then I can remember this Christmas, like, my financial situation was really jacked up, and he made my baby have a great Christmas. Even though he didn't believe in Christmas, he still went out and bought my little 4-year-old a nice little amount of gifts. And he also gave my older son a gift. He didn't have to do none of that. He didn't. But he did it because he know what it's like as a young boy to want your dad, but your dad not around. But you got a stepdad that will step up and take his place and do the job. So if anything, when it comes to Father's Day, I give much props to stepfathers. I'm sorry if I don't acknowledge you real dads out there. I never seen a real dad, so I can't acknowledge something that I never had. But I have seen stepdads, even in my life with my mom. After my dad passed, my mom never brought any men around me. But what she did, who she did bring around me, was my sister dad. And that was the only man that I ever seen. That was the only man that ever, took me to school and stuff. Like, it was only one guy. My mom never had me around different male figures. And I think that's the reason why I don't bring different men around my children. My children maybe only see my oldest maybe only see me with 3 people. I want to say, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, maybe 4. Plus this one, 5, maybe 5. But he's grown now. From the age of 5 all the way to 20, it was only 3 people. The last 2 people has been recent, which is Micah's dad and then Micah, to say his name, Micah's dad and then Micah's stepdad. Those are the last 2. Micah has never been introduced to anybody but his stepdad. That's it. And sometimes he gets a little confused on whether to call him by his name or say dad. But I do notice that he calls his real dad Dada, and he calls his stepdad Dad. So maybe he got like his own little difference in his mind, but it's sad. My baby got to go through this. I'm happy that he does have a male figure that is there for him. I'm so glad for that. I'm so glad for that. I'm thankful that he has somebody that, he can look to as a male figure, because it's hard trying to raise a boy into a man. That boy really needs to see what a man does, what a man's role is. You know what I'm saying? And I learned that with my first kid. So I'm learning it again with my second kid. And instead of being so bossy, like, oh, I'm not gonna do this and I'm not gonna do that. No, I'm gonna let my little one see what a man is supposed to do. So that way he can grow up and he can have that experience, and also he can have the knowledge that I gave him. Because behind a well-respected young man is a mother's figure somewhere around that planted the seed, and it grew when he got older. And I do believe that I planted seeds, good seeds, into my kids. And when they're older, as far as my 20-year-old, that seed is blossoming because he's a gentleman. He opened doors. He speaks. He's not rude. He's a gentleman, And that was implanted in him somewhere. He helps the elderly. That was put in him somewhere along in his life. That's what I taught him, And I'm teaching my other little one the same thing, I don't want mama's boys. I don't. I want my sons to go out and live their best lives. You know what I'm saying? That's why I only want the best for them. I want them to have a better life than I did. And I try so hard, and I'm going to try. I'm going to keep trying until the day that I die. I'm going to struggle for my kids to make sure that their lives is right till I can't breathe anymore. I want my kids to know my mama fought for us. She tried to give us the best. She made sure that we was taken care of. We wasn't hungry. We wasn't homeless. We had nice things. I really care about the memories that I make with my children, or what they think of me, or how they think of me when they get older. I don't ever want them to think that I was a horrible mom. I ran the streets. I was with different men. No, if I got to sacrifice my life so that they can have a good life, I'll do that.